Well, good morning. This is Hiro. Today is the first week of December. It's getting cold, but it's been dry. We haven't had a rain for almost 2 weeks now, and we're badly in need. But today I was able to bring this mid-size Niwaki, or on the smaller side, indoors. The problem I was having outside because of the light and unable to spin it, I think I was missing out on some of what I wanted to teach you. Okay, basics. Remember we talked about the candles, and this is on the top, and as we go down, they're fairly uniform in length, right? That means this tree is in balance. And that's one of those things that we are concerned with, the balance of the energy in a tree. Well, let's start here. This got much too long, so I'm going to cut it back to here. Okay, I took the needles off so you could see better. This is typically what happens in a black pine. And so this center candle, 99% of the time it gets removed. And then if it's already a side branch, what we do is cut these. And so what we do with those others is we cut them. And then there's a small one here, so you could actually remove this one here, and then either now or slightly later you could cut this off, and then it becomes the side branch. Here's another example. I'm going to take the needles off so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. Now, if this was a small tree growing, right? Then once again, you remove the center candle. Okay, now if this is going to be the new line, what you're going to do is decide which one is going to be your new apex. And this one here, probably this will be our apex. That means that these could get removed, right? And then this one becomes a side branch, so you cut them shorter. So you get this movement, right? And then as it goes up, you do the same thing over and over again. So now, you see, as we go up, I guess we'll see a little bit better as we go up. I did that technique over the course of 20 some odd years. And that's how I get the movement and also the taper. Okay, let's get to pruning these. Okay, so this one is much too long, so I'll cut it off. Oh, these are the center candles that I'm removing. And this one here, actually I went deeper. I could have cut it here, but it was still too high, so I went one notch lower. See, now it's starting to shape up, right? And that's what I do for the rest of the trees. So, continuing to prune. This one coming up, there's a lower branch right in there. So, So this is just going to be a rough cut. We'll go back and then fine tune it more. But you could see that it's starting to take shape, right? Okay, we're up here. Much too long, right? This one is a little bit better, but go like that. And then so there's a cluster in here that becomes the next growth. Probably should shrink this one down too. And then same reasoning. So hopefully you see a pattern in what I'm doing. Okay, this one here, I could cut it off here. But you notice how thick this branch is? And then you see in relation to where you are. Now, if this was lower, no big deal. But as you go up, you know, it's too thick. Now, if that was the only thing we have, this is what we'll do. But because there's smaller, more proportional branches up here, we'll take this big one off. See, if you didn't have this, don't do that, or else you'll end up with nothing here. Remember, pines tend to grow heavily on top than the bottoms. They're top growers. So you have to kind of make sure that you keep the energy up on top in check to balance it out. Some of this concept is kind of difficult. And then I'm going to do this for now. Not a best idea. And I think I'll probably end up cutting that off. But we have these smaller ones on the side that should take its place to the apex. So we have this one and this one. And which way do you want to go? You got to follow this line. And I think this one here has a better movement. So I'll take this off and remove the center. Now there's little shoots here, so this will become the side branch. If I didn't have that, I would have shortened it, but see, the thickness was much too thick. It was competing with the same size as the new apex. So anyway, that's what I did. So from the top, working down, you know, it's bushier down below. That's okay. That's all this balancing energy idea. Okay, down here is quite busy, and it's great for a training stage, but I think it's now ready for a little bit more cleaning. We'll leave a sacrifice branch or two, but I think we have too many in there, so I'll go ahead and clean it up and get back. Okay, I think we're getting closer to the finish. It's not finish, it's just done for this period because it's got a ways to go yet. It has a good trunk, but we still got little things to resolve here. And let's look at this. This is the sacrifice branch. Okay, this branch should be removed, but you see this big wound that I still have, and it's starting to roll over, which is a good thing. So by keeping this, it should enhance this recovery. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. But there's a second one over here that could act as another sacrifice branch. But just because of the location of this, I'm going to keep it for another season. And so these things are all part of what you do. Okay, I think I'm done for this round. There's a few more things that will happen, like right here. There's a branch on both sides. So the one on the right will eventually come off, but if I took it off now, end up with a big old blank space. So that one will stay for a while that one above it gets bigger and kind of start to take part of that space. So, okay, so we're looking at, I'm not sure if this is the back, so maybe this is the front. Well, Niwaki, remember I told you it should look pretty good from all sides because that's what happens in a garden. But anyway, let's evaluate our basics. We have a good root flare, and you can see that it has the movement and taper. So this is a solid 7. We're still working on the branches. Once we get the branches in place and improved in quality, then it will become a stage 8. But anyway, I think hopefully we're starting to get some idea of how pines should be done. I was lucky enough to have one that was easy enough to move indoors, so I'm not fighting the sunlight and lack of moving the tripod. Well, when I'm outside, I have to set the tripod and it has no wheels, so that it's very difficult to reset each time I move, versus in here, look, we could move it around, haha. So that's why I try to do it indoors with a plain background. So anyway, this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again in another chapter real soon. So this is being taped in the first week of December. Mm-hmm.